Hi, everybody. Welcome to yoga. Tonight, I have planned for us a slow flow that will be helpful if you've been walking a lot or have taken up running again, which is what's happened over here in our household. Uh, so lots of stretchy hips, hamstrings, IT band work for us tonight, which is also good if you're spending a lot of time sitting down. So I'm sharing the links in the appropriate places right now. Okay. And like always, if you're watching this back, just fast forward 3 or 4 minutes in until you see me sitting down on the mat for class. I like to get logged in early just to make sure everything is working right. Y'all can all hear me. Let's see, we get our playlist. All right, sharing the playlist. Remember, I'll give you the let's go signal so that we'll all start play at the same time. Okay, let's get our angle adjusted. Make sure that y'all can see me. It got really dark outside right when I was about to start filming. So we got inside lights going today. There, that's what we need. Okay, then this scoots back a little bit more. All right, okay. Get my screen situated. Why does it always do this? Why have I not learned? Can't make it go full screen without my Spotify playlist disappearing. So I've got to drag it manually to full screen. So if y'all watch this on playback, I really appreciate it when y'all let me know that y'all have done class. So even if you're coming over not from Greenhouse, so I share this video on the Greenhouse page where our Greenhouse members can watch it, and it's also shared with my students at Ollie. So my Ollie folks, if you want to comment on the YouTube video itself and tell me that you've done it, it makes me feel like my time has been worthwhile. I still will do my practice. It's still beneficial for me. It just helps me feel good. And then I know who I'm teaching to. All right, so let's get class started. If you would like to listen to the Spotify playlist that I've shared along with me, we are all hitting play now. Right, making our way to our mats now. Starting off with a comfortable seat or any other position that you're comfortable in. Sitting up tall, rolling shoulders up, back, and down. Creating lots of space to inhale into. Soft shoulders. Tall spines. Belly inflating and deflating to full capacity. So filling it up till it feels like no more air can come in, and then squeezing all that air out. Finding more air deep in the corners. And with each exhale, feeling shoulders soften even more. Noticing how we're feeling. Our thought patterns. If we're able to quiet our minds. If it's feeling especially difficult this evening. How are our bodies feeling? And noticing if any of those things correlate. We notice that our thoughts are spiraling, that we're focusing more on anxiety producing things. We might notice tension in our neck and our shoulders. And so for our yoga practice tonight, we're committing ourselves to being present in our bodies, in our minds. So being objective observers of our thoughts. And letting go our expectation for our practice. Letting go of judgment and of competition. We are all unique individuals in unique body shapes and sizes. Our poses are going to look different from each person to the next, and different modifications will feel better to different people. So important to listen to the body. So practicing linking movement with breath. Now we're inhaling, sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling, exhaling them, floating them in front of us, rocking to all fours. We're going to sit back into a child's pose, hips over heels, chest and forehead relaxing to the mat. Inhaling into the spine, feeling it lengthen. Inhaling into the sides. Remembering that this pose, our child's pose, is available to us when we need it. And it might be before I've signaled us to return to a child's pose. That's part of being smart in our bodies, is when we feel ourselves or feel our bodies calling for a break or rest, then we honor it. We're inhaling up to all fours, bringing our wrists underneath our shoulders, spreading our fingers nice and wide. We're inhaling, right leg out behind us, just to hip level, toes facing down, reaching out through the heel. We're exhaling as we sweep this foot to the top of the mat, sinking into a kneeling lunge. We'll inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, hands float down, sending knee back underneath the hip. Switching to the other side now, inhaling left leg out. Exhaling, sweeping it to the top of the mat. Inhale, rising, sinking into our lunge. Exhale, hands come down, knee underneath the hip. Inhale, right leg out. Exhaling it to the top. And we rise. Exhaling down. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, we'll sweep it forward. A block out of the way. Inhale. Exhale, hands float down. Inhale, step the knee back. We'll go one more time to each side. Inhale, right leg out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg out. Exhale, we'll sweep it to the top. Inhale. Exhale. And sitting back into child's pose. Noticing how we're feeling after we've come to this pose for movement. Inhaling, we're rocking up to all fours. Wrists back underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're inhaling, lifting the chest to the tailbone. Exhaling, tucking tailbone, crown the head down. So moving through cat and cow in a comfortable pace. Noticing the mobility in our spine. How our abs, our core is working to support the spine. We'll go one more time into cat and cow. And then from a neutral position, so flat backs, we're walking our hands a little bit further forward, spreading fingers nice and wide, tucking toes, lifting the knees off the mat. So as we lift the knees off the mat, we're pressing chest back towards the thighs as we lengthen the heels down and straighten the knees. Gazing between the feet. We'll walk out our dogs here, pedaling the heels up and down. Pressing most of our weight back into our legs. We're stepping our right foot into the center of our mat. We're tucking our left foot behind the heel. Next exhale, we'll step the left foot and the right foot back into down dog, pedaling the heels a few more times. And then stepping left foot to the center of the mat, tucking our right toes back behind our left heel. Next exhale, stepping our feet back into down dog. We're inhaling, lifting our gaze, and exhaling as we walk into a forward fold. Releasing the neck, releasing tension in the low back. We might have a big bend in our knees if that feels better for tight hamstrings. Maybe sway side to side. So we're bringing our hands to the floor, bending our knees as much as we need to get them there. We're going to bend our right knee, pressing into our right palm, and inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling. We're exhaling, left arm down, switching our bend into left leg, left hand stays on the floor, inhaling, reaching right arm up. So just flowing back and forth. We'll go one more time to each side. Meeting back in our forward fold. We're inhaling, lifting halfway, finding a flat back. So extending through the crown of the head, through the tailbone. Hands can be anywhere between fingertips on the floor and as high as our shins, or as our thighs. Next exhale, we'll release back into forward fold. We're inhaling as we come all the way to standing, hinging at the hips. Core is engaged the whole way up. Exhaling, our palms to heart. Taking a moment to find good alignment in our mountain pose. We can release the hands to the side. So grounding through the feet. We'll rock back and forth, feeling the connection, the soles of the feet into the mat. Finding our balance. We've got a tiny bend in the knees, drawing the thighs up the leg. Tailbone tuck slightly down or lengthen slightly down. Shoulders back and down. Chin parallel to the floor. Head is back. Belly button is drawing up and in. We're inhaling, letting the arms sweep back up towards the ceiling. This time exhaling as we dive into forward fold, hinging at the hips. We're inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhaling, palms to the mat. We'll inhale, stepping back into plank. Lowering to our knees. Exhaling in chaturanga, bending the elbows, keeping them close into the rib cage as we lower. We're inhaling, lifting the chest into cobra. Exhaling, chest comes down. Inhaling, we're pressing back into kneeling plank. And then exhaling to down dog. Next inhale, gazing up. Exhaling, walking to forward fold. Inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling to stand. Exhaling, palms to heart. Inhale, we'll reach. Exhale, diving. Inhaling, lifting halfway. Arms to the mat. Exhale in chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. Exhaling, lowering to the mat. Inhaling, we'll press up. Exhaling to down dog. This time we're inhaling, right leg out behind us. Exhaling as we sweep the foot to the top of the mat. Big inhale as we climb to crescent lunge, to high lunge. Exhaling, floating the hands back down. Inhaling, right foot steps back to down dog. Inhale, left leg out behind us. Exhaling, we're sweeping it to the top of the mat. Inhale to high lunge. Exhale, hands float down. Inhale, left foot steps back. We'll drop the knees into kneeling plank. Exhaling as we lower. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, lowering. Inhaling, we press up. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling, lifting the gaze. Exhaling, walking to forward fold. Inhaling, we're lifting halfway. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling to stand. Exhaling, palms to heart. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, diving. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhaling, palms to the mat. Inhaling, stepping back to plank. Dropping to the knees. Exhale, we'll lower. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, chest comes down. Inhale, press up. Exhaling, down dog. Inhaling, right leg out behind us. Exhale, sweeping it to the top of the mat. Inhale, climbing to high lunge. Exhaling, hands float down. Inhaling, stepping right foot back. Lower to plank. Exhaling in chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhaling, lowering. Inhale, we'll press up. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhaling, left leg out behind us. Exhaling, we'll sweep it to the top. Inhale, high lunge. Exhaling, hands float down. Inhale, left foot steps back to plank, lowering to the knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhaling, lowering. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, down dog. Taking a moment to reset, to feel ourselves in this pose. We're inhaling, right leg out behind us, and exhaling to let the knee bend and the hip open. We can also lower our left knee to the floor if this feels really intense in down dog. So we'll flex the foot, protecting the knee joint, but activating the muscles around the knee. We'll inhale to straighten the leg, and exhaling, we're sweeping it to the top of the mat. Climbing to high lunge, inhaling as we lift. Let's exhale, palms to prayer here. Active prayer hands, bringing our elbows parallel to our wrists. Staying up on the toes of our back foot. We're inhaling, reaching the hands back towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're spiraling open into warrior two. So back foot pivots down, shoulders stacking over, hips, belly button up and in. Right knee is tracking open towards right baby toe. Gazing over right middle finger. We're flipping right palm open, straightening front leg. As we inhale, tilt back into reverse triangle. Light touch of our back hand on back leg. Next exhale, right hand comes or to a block in triangle. We may also prop up on our leg if we don't have a block handy. And we can come up as high as the hip. So what we want in this pose, in this position, is the whole upper body to be stacking on top of one another. So a straight line from left finger, or our left fingertips to left wrist to shoulder, and all the way down. Exhaling, we're bringing our left hand down, the inside of the foot, right hand down on the outside of the foot. We pivot on back toes. We're dropping the left knee to the floor and inhaling, rising and kneeling lunge. We'll exhale, palms to heart. We're inhaling, sweeping the hands back towards the ceiling. Exhaling, hands float down on either side of our front foot. We'll inhale, step our right knee back to kneeling plank. Exhaling, lowering in chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhaling, chest to the mat. Inhaling, pressing up. Exhaling, down dog. taking a moment, resetting, noticing how we're feeling, where our thoughts are. Are they here in our practice, in our bodies? Have they drifted? Noticing without judgment. We don't beat ourselves up on our yoga mats. We're inhaling left leg out behind us. We can drop right knee if we want to, but we'll bend left knee, flexing that left foot. We'll inhale to straighten the leg. Exhaling, we're sweeping the foot to the top of the mat. Knees stacking over, ankle climbing onto fingertips. Inhaling as we rise off of the thigh into high lunge. We'll exhale, hands to prayer. Active prayer hands, shoulders soften. Up on the toes of our back foot. Back leg is straight and strong. We're inhaling, sweeping the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhaling as we spiral open into warrior two on this side. Left knee tracking open, shoulders stacking over hips, tailbone lengthens down, belly button up and in. Strong gaze over left middle finger. Straightening front knee, inhaling as we tilt back into reverse triangle. We're exhaling as we tilt down into triangle. So hand coming to the leg where it's comfortable, or to the inside of the ankle, or to a block. We'll exhale, right hand down on the inside of the foot, left hand on the outside, pivoting on back toes, dropping our right knee. Inhaling into kneeling lunge. Exhaling the palms to heart. Hair's tickling my face. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, palms down. We're stepping our left foot back to kneeling plank on our inhale. Exhaling as we lower into chaturanga. Inhaling to cobra. Exhaling, lowering. Inhale, pressing up. Strong body comes up all in one movement. And exhaling back to down dog. So we're going to continue that sequence a few more times, not holding them near as long. So just a little bit of a quicker pace, but keeping this a slow flow. We're inhaling, right leg out behind us, remembering we can drop our left knee if we want. Exhaling, bending the knee, letting the hip open. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, we'll sweep it to the top of the mat, slow and controlled. Inhaling, rising to high lunge. Exhaling, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. So front leg straightens, we reach up. Exhaling, dropping into triangle. We'll inhale back to reverse triangle one more time. So using the strength of our core to lift us. And then exhaling, taking our hands down in a windmill motion on either side of front foot. We're pivoting on back toes, dropping left knee. Inhaling into kneeling lunge. Exhaling, hands float back down. Inhaling, right knee steps back into kneeling plank. Exhaling, lowering with control. Yeah, cobra. Exhaling, lowering. Inhale, we'll press up. Exhaling to down dog. Next, inhale, left leg extends behind us. We're exhaling to bend the knee. Inhaling to straighten. Exhaling, swooping it to the top of the mat. Inhaling, climbing to high lunge. Exhale, we'll open to warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhaling to triangle. Inhale to reverse triangle. Exhaling all the way down, hands on either side of this front foot, pivoting on back toes. Right knee comes down. Inhaling it to kneeling lunge. Exhaling, hands float down. Inhaling, stepping left knee back. Kneeling plank, exhaling as we lower. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, lowering. Inhaling, we'll press up. Exhaling back, down dog. We're inhaling, lifting the gaze. We'll exhale and walk to a forward fold. Releasing the neck. Maybe give the head a little shake. We'll find ourselves back into our twisting forward fold flow that we did earlier in class. So bending our knees, putting our hands on the mat, or bending into right knee. Inhale, left arm reaches. Exhaling, left hand down, left knee bends. Inhale, right arm reaches. So taking over at our own pace. One more time to each side. Inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhaling, folding deeper. Inhaling all the way to standing, hinging at the hips. Sweeping the arms up, exhaling, palms to heart. We're walking to the center of our mats or anywhere that we feel more comfortable in our space balancing. I'm going to do a little standing balance flow. Outside of the hips and the hip flexors in our standing balance. So we'll begin in tree pose, just getting a feel of standing on one leg first before we add movement. Let's bring hands to prayer. We're finding our focal point. Right foot can come, or left foot can come to right leg. Either toe stays on the mat. We bring the toes to the ankles, foot up to the calf, or we can bring foot to the inner thigh. Pressing, knee open so it's in line with standing leg. Gaze is steady and strong. Heel off the leg and the toes. And then we're bringing knees in line with one another and reaching back. Finding a stretch in the hip flexors, in the quads. We'll release hands back to prayer. We're taking the ankle to above the knee as we sit back in standing pigeon. So it's like a balancing chair pose. We're inhaling to stand up, exhaling, dropping the foot and shaking it out. Shaking it out. All right, same thing, other leg. So finding our balance on our left foot. We'll bring hands to prayer. We're dropping our gaze to the floor. So something about 3 feet in front of us that's not moving as our source of balance. Right foot finding its way to left leg. Probably the same place that we had it on the other side. Pressing the knee out in line with the leg. Soft shoulders. Strong core. So we're peeling the heel off the leg, then toes, and then bringing knees in line with one another. Drop right, left hand, bring right hand on the outside of the ankle. We'll release our grip on our ankle so foot stays where it is. Bringing hands back to prayer. We're then bringing the leg forward and crossing right ankle over our left knee as we sit back in our standing pigeon. One more deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Inhale to stand. Exhale, shaking it out. Walking back to the top of our mats. Inhaling, sweeping the arms high. Exhaling, hinging forward at the hips. We're inhaling, lifting halfway. Exhaling, palms to the mat. Inhaling as we step back into kneeling plank. So dropping to the knees. And breathing here. So belly button drawing up towards the spine. And of course, if you want to pop up on the toes, you can come to toes. We're going to concentrate on drawing that belly button as close to our spine as possible. So I know that's not really possible, but we're using our muscles. So activating our muscles and keeping them as activated as possible through that visualization. So we're going to flow from side to side a few times. So we're going to take our right knee, our right shin out perpendicular to our body as we roll into kneeling plank. So the left leg comes on top, left arm reaches up. We're exhaling, left foot down, feet back in line with one another. This time, left shin comes out perpendicular to the body, right leg comes on top, right arm reaches up. Exhaling, hand down, feet back in line with one another. Right shin comes out, left leg stacks on top. Inhale, left arm unfurls. Exhale, hand reaches back, finds the mat. Right shin comes in, left shin comes out. Right leg stacks, right arm reaches. All right, let's flow a few times, going at our own pace. We'll go one more time to each side. And then from kneeling plank, We're simply going to come to kneeling. So walking our hands back to our knees. Sitting up, we might face the long edge of our mat now. We'll extend our left leg out, reach right arm up, and left arm drops to the floor. Inhaling, right arm reaches to right leg, or left arm reaches to left leg, right arm comes up. Exhaling back to center, bringing left knee in. Taking right leg out, left arm up, exhale as it drops. Inhaling, using the strength of our core to lift the torso. Right hand finds right leg, left arm up and over. Inhaling back to neutral. And then sitting back on our heels. We're rolling to our backs, one vertebrae at a time. So one vertebra implants, then the next, core scooping in the whole way down. So stepping our feet a little bit closer into the glutes now. We're going to windshield wiper our knees from side to side. So hands out in a T, knees back and forth. So we're finding neutral. So back at center. Bring our hands close to our sides. We're inhaling, extending the feet up towards the ceiling, like we're trying to stamp our feet on the ceiling. So feet are flexed as if we're walking on the ceiling. We're exhaling as we bend into the knees, soles of the feet finding the floor. We're extending left leg out, inhaling, drawing right knee in as we hug the shin towards the upper body. We're exhaling to extend the right leg, inhaling, bringing left knee in. Exhale, sending left leg out. Inhale to bring both feet flat to the mat. And extending them out towards the ceiling once more. Exhaling, feet find the mat. We're inhaling as we sit up. So we can bring our hands back behind us, use some momentum. Big inhale, belly button draws in. And good. So we're going to find ourselves in all four. So we'll swing our legs back behind us. Use this as our starting position to get deep into the hips. We'll step our right foot forward and find ourselves in our expression of kneeling lunge. So just ensuring that our knee is not going past our toes. Sinking as deeply into the hip as we like, or as comfortable. Maybe propping up onto the knee. If you're feeling comfortable propped up on to our front knee, I might try bringing the stretch into hamstrings, not hamstrings, quadriceps. By bending back foot, back knee in, bring the foot in, grabbing hold of the outside of the foot. So if knees bend, we're exhaling to release, bringing hands back to either side of the front foot. We're shifting our weight back, hip stack over knee as right toes pop up. And we're hinging at our hips as we fold forward, nose reaching towards the shin. I'll do a few pointing the toes down and flexing them back up. So a few movements this way. You can keep doing this back and forth movement with the foot or come back to stillness and hold this stretch a few more breaths. One more deep inhale and exhale, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Inhaling, walking the hands forward, foot back to the mat. Exhaling, sending right knee back underneath right hip. Take a moment to reset here. And then next inhale, we're stepping our left foot forward. Finding kneeling lunge on this side. Seeing where we're comfortable going, if we're tighter on this side or if we were tighter on the other side, or maybe we're pretty balanced. And again, just making sure our knee doesn't extend past our toes. If we see that happening, we either shift our weight back or we walk our foot forward. And then if you want to bend back knee, Flexing through the foot, reaching back on the outside of the ankle. You stay where you're comfortable. And when we're ready to turn this into a left hamstring stretch, bringing your hands back on either side of our front foot, and then shifting our weight back, hip stacking over the knees, left toes popping off the mat, hinging forward. You want to rock the toes down and up, finding some stretching in front of the ankle, the top of the foot. So doing what feels good here. If this doesn't feel great, you can try it a few times and then go back to holding. Also acknowledge that this flow, this series of poses can be tough on our knees. So I happen to be doing my poses on a yoga mat on top of carpet. If you're on hard floor, I know we're coming to the end of this. Should have suggested this to begin with. You can always double up your mat, either on the side or fold it onto the back, or if you have a blanket near you, bring a folded blanket up underneath the knees. We're taking one more breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And inhaling to bring our left knee back underneath the leg. So as we transition to Shavasana, I'm going to create some ambiance, whatever shape you would like for your Shavasana. Let's see this. So finding where you're comfortable. Feeling your body's natural inclination to relax, release, let go. Soften the shoulders, tugging them down the back. Lengthen the spine. Release tension in the low back. Relax the jaw, parting the teeth. Letting our tongue float away from the roof of the mouth, or softening the temples, relaxing the space between the eyebrows. And feeling our eyes sink deeply into their sockets. Any thoughts try to intrude and creep in the space of relaxation. We just acknowledge them and visualize them leaving our mind's eye with our next exhale. So creating, protecting, fully experiencing these few moments of rest and relaxation in both our mind and our body. Waking ourselves up by wiggling our fingers and our toes, rotating our wrists and our ankles. Letting these little movements culminate in a big stretch. Inhaling, arms overhead, pointing our toes. Exhaling, bringing knees to chest. Wrapping our arms around the shins, our hands at the backs of the thighs. We'll rock side to side. Giving our low backs a little massage into the mat. We'll also move our knees in a big circle. When our low backs feel good, we'll let our knees fall to whichever side they want to fall as we roll into a fetal position. Taking a few deep breaths here. before pushing up to seated. From seated, taking one final breath together. We're inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, palms to the heart. Thank you for joining me this evening. Namaste. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next class, either here or in yoga classes again. So teaching again at 5:30 on Thursday night, right here, if you want to tune in. I will see y'all later.